Councilmember Scott. Member Silverman.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Present.
Councilmember Lane.
Here.
Councilmember Thompson. Here. Councilmember Carpenter. Here. Councilmember Beckwith is reported absent. Councilmember Michaels.
Here.
You all rise to speak the time.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We all have a moment of silence in regards to all the families and people that are going on vacation and traveling amongst these summer months. Okay, thank you. Privilege of the floor. Diane Chu.
Thank you, Council and Mayor, for taking my statement. Last week, I was chagrined to see a piece of New York State DOT heavy equipment clearing trees and other vegetation from the banks of the Ticonderoga River. West Branch was to be designated a trout stream, but the loss of shade and likely erosion may raise its temperature and increase its turbidity to the point that no longer qualifies. Portland is poor in money. We don't have high-paying jobs or large tax base. What we do have is clean water and air, plus an environment that makes people want to visit us, to fish, to kayak, hike, and camp. We need to protect the Ticonderoga for ourselves and for the next 7 generations. All too often, we've allowed the banks to be cleared, disregarding Department of Environmental Conservation's guidelines to leave 100-foot buffer zone. A decade ago, the bank at Yeaman Park was cleared so that Jim Yeaman could see the water unimpeded from the road. A couple of years ago, a lot immediately behind Wendy's was cleared to displace the unhoused who had taken shelter in the woods. This past week, unhoused people were chased away from further down the river, and the area was cleared again, this time by the DOT, without a permit and without knowledge of who owned the land. When something this important to the community is done, it should not be dictated by one city official. There should be a public hearing. We should dot the i's, cross the t's, because someone may know something that the good people in the city government aren't aware of. The housing problem is big, but clearing out camps and destroying the natural environment are not solutions. The mayor did well to invite the Ithaca Neighborhood Housing Service, INHS, to submit a proposal for low to moderate income housing at Parker School. It was more than the neighborhood wanted to accept and was dropped. Are there other places we can accommodate the unhoused? Perhaps not as many in one spot and closer to medical and social services. Let's think harder, listen to more people, and not go for the quick fix. How about establishing a committee to address the housing problem and have it report to the Common Council at every meeting? Summer in Portland's beautiful, and the situation is not dire now. Come winter, we will again be facing the unhoused, hungry, and freezing in the cold. It will be a test of our humanity. Thank you again for taking this to heart.
Thank you. If you would like to read your other one, Ms. Chu. Okay.
I can, but I
That's okay.
reviewed my 3 minutes.
That's fine. If you have 2 issues, I'll certainly know.
This is from my husband, who's with me on the Environmental Advisory Committee. Thank you, Mayor, Steve, and council members. To reduce greenhouse gas emissions and climate change, we should try to replace fossil fuels with renewably generated electricity for our heating and cooling. Heat pumps are reversible air conditioners, moving heat in and out of buildings, and they run on electricity. Heat pumps can pump heat to and from the air or the cool ground, 55-degree ground. In winter, ground source or geothermal heat pumps are more efficient than air source heat pumps because it's easier to pull heat indoors from the 55-degree ground than from the 20-degree outside air. Similarly, in summer, it's easier to push heat from indoors to the 55-degree ground than to the 90-degree outside air. Unfortunately, ground source heat pumps require well fields, of long underground pipes. District or community heating is a utility service that saves customers from having their own well fields. A utility like NYSEG would provide the cool temperature water to each customer, just the way they provide natural gas. This is still a new business, and NYSEG is working on a small project in Ithaca. Members of the NYSEG team would be interested in building a similar demonstration project in Cortland. They would need space for a well field and permission to lay new pipes. It would also require a commitment from enough customers to take advantage of the service. I hope the city would be open to discussing this with the NYSEG team. Thank you for your consideration of this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Coolin.
Hi, you all probably know me by now. You can call me Pam. Root them out. Webster's Dictionary, to find and eliminate. The Ithaca Common Council unanimously voted on September 20th to set aside the city-owned property about 28 acres where unhoused Ithaca residents could camp and thus be out of the sight of housed city residents. It sounded like a good idea. The city was to provide, quote, amenities such as toilets, showers, cooling and warming stations, running water, and trash disposal. No construction of any kind took place. Not even the installation of porta potties or dumpsters. A health hazard, of course, ensued, forcing the county to order the city to clean up the jungle, as it was called. The area was then bulldozed after all inhabitants had left, thus not endangering the lives of human beings. However, what the city of Portland did, this writer learned from eyewitnesses, was to start bulldozing an encampment, not city property, where Wendy's at about 5 a.m. in the morning, early on a Sunday morning, about a week ago, June 23rd, 2024. Human beings were sleeping. This area was immediately overwhelmed with police, some on-duty police in uniform, and many who were volunteer off-duty police in street clothes, all there to root out. Webster's Dictionary, to root out, to find and eliminate. The then left peaceably, losing most of their only possessions. Andy, may I read 2 paragraphs more?
You have time.
Thank you. Transitional housing needed for the houseless. As is widely known, Portland is in desperate need of housing for those less fortunate, having no homes, living where they're able, where they are not turned away by police, outdoors in the woods in the cold of night. In a phone conversation with Dan Siegel, CEO, Rescue Mission Alliance Housing Development Corp. In Syracuse, Mr. Seberg expressed an interest in discussing with a representative of the Portland County Legislature, its president perhaps, Kevin Fitch, about transitional housing 24/7 to explain, quote, what RMA-HDC does and how RMA-DC does it, which could potentially offer these services in Portland, as they do now in Auburn, Binghamton, Syracuse, Cuba County, and Ithaca. These housings would also include transitional apartments. Excuse me, sir. You let her go. May I just do one more paragraph? Thank you. And as per the Portland Standard, April 22nd, 2024. Mr. Seberg told me he feels especially close to Portland as he is a graduate of SUNY Portland, and told me he would, quote, immediately jump into the car to have lunch and discuss possible housing with a representative of the legislature. With 24/7 transitional housing, there would be no need to seek shelter in the kindly staffed Portland Free Library. The seeming impetus for the present discussion about houselessness. According to Director Kelly Tobin of the YWCA, she just won round 4 and the recent round 8 of the Empire State Supported Housing Initiative. The latter for a 24-unit apartment building that will include some apartments for the unhoused in 2025 when completed, but will not be applying for this next round. Like, she's involved in other things. And the first round you see on Homer next to Dollar Plaza, the gray apartment building, that's the YWCA. I recently read Thursday in the paper that there are no grants out there. And I have a list of them that they're easily got. I know we can get the one from Syracuse. I know since we've already gotten 2 through the 5, we'd probably get one again. Anyway, it will, let's see. So I'm hoping the county legislature will apply for that, but anybody can. If you would like to encourage the Cortland County Legislature to speak with Mr. Seberg and apply for apartments through ESSHI, do write to Mr. Bench at cortland-co.org. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Even you. That's okay, you can.
Brandon McGovern.
I was asked to read a statement that was already read. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, mayor's report. So I have a lot to go through here. Sorry about that. So just to clarify, the judge position and legislature position, I will bring up at the end of the meeting, discussion items. So we'll talk about the next steps on those 2 positions. But no decision will be made today on either one of those, but we'll talk about the process of that at the end. Just quick couple updates, highlights, some great stuff and some, where everything's at. Fire department, firefighter Pavel, I'm gonna try to get his last name, so, at a life-saving event with, firefighter Casterline, Stockland, with Student Hall, was in the ambulance of TLC. And they were able to, resuscitate a 30-year-old male with cardiac arrest. This gives us a good example of wisdom to have firefighters being in code. Having those firefighters code call just right around the corner, an inspection, and was able to respond within
It's about 90 seconds.
90 seconds to 90 seconds to the scene, we're able to do that. So I know that's a better way, and so it's great to have those EMTs and medical personnel that are in our thing. We have four more people going through the academy now. It's a great to be able to have that, have them on staff. They also had Backstreet, they had a bedroom fire that was quickly extinguished, took care of that really quick. On July 16th, swearing in of a battalion chief and captain, those are all lateral moves. And the 2 new firefighters that we're hiring will be July 16th at 10 a.m. at the fire department. Wastewater, so the boilers are being installed at the wastewater. That's something that we've had been living along with one boiler for quite a while. It's down there today and all that as well. And we're working on the permit, our wastewater permit that's expired 7 years ago. So we're working with the final details of that. Bruce update, Bruce is in the hospital, he's recovering around and he's hoping to be home, but a little setback with some breathing, but he's doing well, which is his best. Certainly our prayers for Bruce to get better quick. Youth Bureau. So a couple things happened in Youth Bureau. We just got a new roof on the Youth Bureau and everybody saw that. We finally got that. That project was just completed on Friday. That looks like it was, definitely was needed. We had a lot of problems that we didn't even get a hold of. The pickleball player, Troy's not here, so July 12th, 11 a.m. we'll start the opening pickleball event, and then so there'll be hot dogs and refreshments there. And then there's a round robin tournament from 11 to 2, and then it's an all day 4 to 6 will be another event. It's on with 3 lessons to get everybody else out there. So 3 lessons during the day and some good history. Somebody coming in to do history, a bunch of people doing trainings and explanations. There'll be equipment there so you can try it. I encourage everybody to come out. There'll be raffles. Heather did a great job putting this together, to make this event happen, so excited about that. The fifth, the movies will start, which is Friday, 8th and 9th, swim lessons and art books will come out. First field trips on the 10th. Our concerts start on the 11th, pickleball's on the 12th. Programs, kicking off next week as well, and, we want to try to get everybody out there, encouraged to paint the fire hydrants, be part of that competition, that's great. Thank you to Royal Auto Group for sponsoring our ID tags. There's 3,700 registered so far. Kind of another great story on 6/23, the 23rd of June, two lifeguards, pulled out, a 21-year-old who was having a seizure in the pool. Kind of great. FJI, we're able to pull the person out and, get them, to safety and make sure their airway was clear and dealt with that seizure. And it's a great, to have those cards, to be able to contact the next of kin. So something that maybe we didn't think about, is a good selling point. So, they've been doing the cards with these girls, so there's been probably some inconvenience to some people, but overall, I think if something like that happened to their child, they would be excited about having that option. So that's Youth Bureau. So DPW. So we noticed a lot of trees, we had a lot of storms, our fire department and police department, everybody's busy for a couple Mondays there. Call after call after call on a lot of wind blowdown, so we decided to do a brush pickup, starting on Monday and go through the 8th through the 11th. Then we're gonna do every second week, till October, we're gonna do a brush pickup in the city. We have to clean that up, so, that'll help people, we gotta get that, keep some of the debris down and, keep some on around, so. A bit better control, so any constituents know the second week of every month, we're gonna hit that brush pickup, they'll just go around, and if there's none out there, they won't get it, but they'll get it, the other ones to circle around the city. Thanks to the supervisors that are leading the groups over there, they're meet over there daily, and we kind of go through everything. Thanks, Robin, for covering over there while Shannon was on vacation. Poor timing on all parts, but it went really well. We had a good week, and I think we're coming around to moving things along. Streets will start, the gas on River Street will start next week, and NSA's gonna be working on that. We'll follow after they're done to get that paved. The 15th of July will start the paving season for us. And those streets will include Lebanon, McGregor, Helen, which gets the curbs as well. Miller, Hill, James, Huntington, Pendleton, which gets the curbs, Pomeroy and Sheridan.
Real curves?
Real granite curbs.
Just making sure.
Real curve.
They're not real curbs, they're real curbs. So, and those projects will start the 15th of July. And probably go 2 weeks in the milling process, the grinding, and then turn right around and go back and pave them. So we're not gonna wait a long period of time to get them paved, so we're gonna follow right behind those. Right at parking lot, half of that's done. The lights are working, and they're getting the timer, hope to get the timer up by the end of, before they go on vacation this week. So Groton Ave's coming along, and next week, the final paved Groton Ave, we have this half the parking lot paved, and we have as many parking spots as we did when the whole thing was paved before, so that's good. We're currently working on a dumpster program to be able to consolidate dumpsters and clean that area.
Looks sharp.
It does look good, and it's gonna be great, great to have those parking spaces, because we're using, 46, 48 on Main Street. Met last night with the business owners on Main Street to go through all the curbs and the bump outs and what that means for them, and just a basic explanation of what's going on, and that was, I think it was helpful for all to be able to do that. In finance, in the audit side, so the audit for 2023 is going along. There's still some more information they need. They get into busy time, so that'll probably likely be pushed back. But in the information gathering of that 23 audit, they found some information related to additional federal funding and capital projects and community development activities that were through the New York State EFC funding program components that were federally funded. Those projects were ongoing throughout the years, but the payment came the year after. So in the federal requirements of auditing, they have to report those findings the year that that was expended. So we received them the year and they were expended then. So they have to go back and open up 21 and 22 audit to go back and fix those. So, I just want to make sure we had that disclosed, so everybody understood that's gonna happen. Some of that is on them, because they have the documents to do it, so they're gonna go back and it'll be corrected, so when we do get our audit back, there will be findings that will be against us. So I just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. Otherwise, we continue on with the finance team doing that. We had interviews on Friday. Need to circle back on the so we interviews on Friday. There has been an offer made and have not heard back on that one yet, so we will keep you posted on that, fingers crossed. Very candidate as well as DPW commission interviewed 3 candidates for DPW and 3 very qualified candidates for the people in the interview room, and they can attest to that. And so hopefully they pushed forward 2 names to me, and then I'll discuss and negotiate and hopefully bring them to our next meeting. So I'm hoping to bring finance, if it works out, DPW at our next meeting, as well as some other positions we'll talk about later. So, and last but not least, we have the police department, and, you know, to our chagrin, after 39 years from 1985, you know, Chief Sandy has decided to retire at the end of July. So we have a press release that we have written there, and I encourage everybody to read that. We all know that when we need to get something done, we pick up the phone, we call Chief Sandy, and he gets it done with diligence and without the second ask. So that's what I'm gonna miss. Probably one of the things I'm gonna miss the most. But certainly the friendship and the working together and trying to make Portland safer and better, and working together. We're talking about the accomplishments, you know, from the drug task force to having more officers to just being more pragmatic about, you know, adamantly going for his dog canine officers, doing it. And, you know, his law enforcement family is, you know, his grandson that hopefully will become law enforcement as well, but and daughter-in-law that are in law enforcement too, that he will like to spend more time with, so. Not see that.
He's there, right next to
He's hiding there. Chief, would you like to say anything, or you'll save that for another day?
Save it for the next.
Okay.
I'm consoling Chief Reed.
It's not usual that we have the police and fire together that close. They usually go at it pretty heavy. Yeah, I guess that's a sign of retirement, right, Chief? Okay. But again, you know, sorely be missed, and sorry to receive that, but certainly recognize 38 years is a long time fighting the battles, or I should say, dealing with the battles of the everydays that we. That's it. So I think I went through it. Also, we'll go through the ward reports. Ward 1.
So Ward 1 is all quiet, but I'm gonna talk just real quick about the big event that went on this last Sunday, Family Fun Day. The DAB, Parkside Villa and Gators came together last year. This was the second annual. There'll definitely be a third annual. Want to thank the fire and police for playing their parts in it. It was great. Saw kids with fire hoses, and they were just having a blast. We had everything from pony rides to events to dunk tanks to bounce houses, food, all sorts of things. And last year we came up just shy of 600 people. We definitely cleared over 600 people. And it's starting to become people are starting to understand that every year there will be a free event for families to go to down there. And we hope that the numbers will put us north of 7. We know we're north of 6. We haven't added everything up yet. And next year, these 3, the DAB, Parkside Villa and Gators are all committed to having the event again, and hoping to hopefully make it bigger, better, and go towards 1,000. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Ward 2.
The curbs look ready on the main street. For the bump outs, bigger, is the street gonna be narrower than it was before?
Technically, the street's wider, but if you look at the areas where the bump outs are, it's a lot narrower.
It does look like a lot, it's like an optical illusion. Yeah, the curbs look great. It's great to see progress being made there. People are cleaning up their property, so I'm really happy to hear about those extra brush pickups. Summer gardening, it's a beautiful time of year in Portland. It's been very peaceful in the second ward. I helped with the small neighborly dispute. And I want to know, who do I thank for removing the shoes at 2 Pleasant?
DPW.
Okay. All right.
The city. crew.
That was pretty fabulous. And I have a couple of issues to talk to codes about. That's it.
All right, thank you. Just real quick back to DPW, so there, remember there's online, there's work orders that can be put online and during, Robin's over there, how many did you do this?
Total would have been in 18 in
18 4 days would be a year's worth, I think, maybe, so we're doing that more and really doing it, it's working out.
Yep.
It's phenomenal,
third ward is fine, all good.
that's fine.
I was involved with several other people with the DPW interviews, and that was very, very good. I had a constituent on Pearl Street contact me about the leaves that are coming from trees that are on the college property onto her lawn. She had the same issue last year, and so I went down and deal with that again. I walked out Main Street, took my life in my hands and walked up Main Street today. And it was scary. And I'm glad you mentioned the loss of parking spaces, because I noticed, I mean, the bump outs are really nice, the curbs look great, but I was confused by the fact that so many parking spaces have gone up. That'll be the same on the other side as well.
Yes, correct. Most of it matches up. There's a couple that are less and more based on the bulbs and where they are. That's why we redid graph the game the parking spots.
Oh, okay. During discussion, I would like to ask more about the riverbank being cleared as to why it was done. And that's it.
Josh?
4 points, wasn't able to be at our last council meeting. But I do want to acknowledge and take note of our fire department and our police force and how they responded to the Juneteenth event in service and in camaraderie to bring a great event about for our city. And it's probably the largest Juneteenth event that we did. And I just can't say enough about the service and response. And the ability for the fire department to take smiles upon their faces as I fell into the dunk tank about 10 times. But overall, it was just a great event. Thank you. Can't say it enough. 2, pickleball is a hot sport here in Portland. With the new courts on at Randall and Huntington, just about every night this summer, the cars are lined up against the street there. It's pretty fun. I've been on the courts. They're nice. They play fast. And there's some ambassadors out there. If you haven't played, it's a fun time. Participated in the finance and administration interviews, and glad we're making an offer. Thank the candidate that we're looking to move forward with. It's of high quality, so pleased with that. And unfortunately, there was a noticeable accident at Huntington and South Main, where someone took out one of our fire hydrants and did some damage to property. Thankfully, everybody was able to, is okay. Minor injuries. That's the word report.
You? Perfect.
I stopped by Randall, and it's beautiful courts, tennis courts too, we never mentioned the tennis courts, but pickleball and tennis. Yeah. been a long time since we worked on that, finally get it through, get it done. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mayor, for all the support. It's been
Years.
a long time.
Yeah.
We had
We expect to see you out there.
Oh, I'll
See you.
text. I can't lower myself. Just kidding. When I start slowing down, then I'll play.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It is. very much.
Different rules. I want to thank Paul Sandy for his work as the City of Cortland Police Chief. Paul and I worked together for 21 years. He was my mentor and he's the hardest working officer I've ever met. He's been doing this 37 years and very proud of him and what he's accomplished. He reached the pinnacle of his job. That's the Chief of Police. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Mr. Mike?
As the mayor noted, July 12th is certainly a day to get individuals out to Randall Park to witness the pickleball. Some of the events going on, there's gonna be some individuals who are gonna actually teach the game as well as enjoy watching some of the individuals play. Gonna be refreshments, hot dogs. We're still working on some of the other items to finalize everything, but certainly come out for July 12th. We're also working on trying to get caught up on some potholes that were missed during the first round of DPW. Anyone has any that in their ward that need to be noted? Either drop DPW a line or send me an email at ward8@portland.org and we'll get those taken care of. Was also invited the full meeting today, very informational. First time I've sat down with the whole group. Certainly learned a few things that I didn't know before throughout these years. Still addressing vacant property issue in my ward. Gonna do some more legwork, trying to get the this rehab at some point. Once we identify and locate the owner just up vacated it and left it sitting there, so I'm gonna do some legwork to find out what the neighbors think that this individual ended up so that they can sign a release on the property. And that's all I have for the H1. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have approval of minutes. Any questions on that? Scott, Carpenter, all those in favor?
I,
Something on the agenda is the receipt of the financials. They were in today. We tried to do that the first meeting of the month. If we get a copy of those, and anybody have any questions on those?
Sent them via email earlier to the council department heads. So it's PDF.
So if you have any questions, certainly bring them up at the next meeting. Just want to make sure that everybody knows they receive and file those. Final resolutions, I'd like to get a motion to move agenda item number 11 to the top of the agenda for recognition of somebody's time that is going to talk about this, that has to be early for a family event. I get a motion to do that. So Mr. Carpenter, all those in favor to move agenda item number 11 to the first.
I,
Okay, agenda item number 11, authorize agreement for engineering and architectural services for the fire station renovations.
Resolved that the common council does hereby authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with Mitchell Associates Architects and Five Bugles Design to perform program review and concept design services for the fire station for $42,000 to establish the preliminary plan for future construction modifications with funding coming from account number 00-00.
I'll move.
Mr. Ellis, second, Mr. Scott.
Good evening, council. First off, I'd be remiss if I did not speak of congratulating Chief Sandy on his retirement. Chief Sandy and I we go back from when we were both promoted to deputy chief here, 10 years ago. We worked very hard together, working with both departments and the fire department, police department come together in so many ways in that time. and it has to be acknowledged of his professionalism and abilities to do that. So I'm very thankful for him as a mentor as well. Just, I mean, obviously, police department, fire department, he made a choice, but. But, we do have volunteers, chiefs, if you're interested, we gotta. So I need to say that. So yes, so the agenda item, in front of you tonight is a proposal for a conceptual study. And ironically, I was talking to Mayor Gallagher, who's in the audience, about years ago, there's been discussion about the fire station. What are we gonna do? And how do we do things and what are we gonna do moving forward? It's been in the hopper for years and we kicked the can. We have an opportunity for some grant funding, other monies being allocated from, the state, hopefully federally, that we're applying for. But in order to make that happen, we have to have a project design, explain what we're gonna do. And hopefully with that, we can move forward for getting some monies, because we all know our beautiful fire station, we all know the challenges. But there's some ideas out there to make it better for the future and the next 100 years. So that's there for. The mayor and I actually met with this group a while ago now, and seemed very happy with that. So that's what this is for.
Anybody have any questions for Chief Reed? Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. One question. I have one question. This company has experience working on historic buildings.
Yes. Yep, absolutely.
All right,
That's one of the reasons why we're here.
making sure.
So where's the money coming from? Oh, here we go.
There was some study for ARPA funding that was done.
Okay, great.
And probably as we do some of the grant applications and we receive some of that, it'll offset some of that as well.
But now we're going to do the study first.
Right.
Yeah. But except for the police grant, which $175,000, and they just sent us a check and it's spent it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we want to see.
Yeah, that happened. Call the vote, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 1, set public hearing on proposed local law related to city constable.
Resolved that pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, a public hearing shall be held prior to the common council's scheduled regular meeting at 6 P.M. on July 16, 2024 at City Hall, 25 Court Street, Portland, New York, on the proposal of the law relative to abolishing the elected positions of constable, subject to approval by city voters at the general election to be held on November 5th, 2024.
Carpenter and so on. So this is something that we noticed that was, when we moved to our 4-year terms, we noticed that these constables were still beyond. So they were beyond this next general election. And if we don't, delete them. So there's nothing in the charter that even recognizes that they do anything other than they exist. So I think they originally served papers, which is the sheriff's duties now, the sheriff's department has duties that do that, and based on some incidents we had on home rap, I know that the cheaters would really want to be the ones delivering these papers, but, with that said, so, to eliminate this position, and I can't find any history, we can't find any history that even omitted it from the rest of the charter, so just to keep it clean and make it so we're just following through with this procedure, and there'll be a referendum to abolish it, so. They're not doing anything, they don't get any funding, they don't do anything, they just keep getting reelected, which could be a problem later in voting. If there's not any, we have voting groups just for,
They get paid.
they do not,
No, they do not.
there's no budgeting, there's no budget to them at all, that's why it's overlooked mine, and when I saw that it was like, whose jurisdiction the constable's under, we spent some time with the county, everybody trying to find it. We found a paragraph or 2 in the charter, doesn't really identify.
So it's just an empty title because
Yeah.
the-
At one point, they served papers, now they don't serve them for the courts, it's all changed.
In the past, any payment for their services has come from the person seeking to have the paper served.
Okay.
As far as we can tell, no city salary that's ever been allocated.
And talking to the two constables, which is a generational thing, so his father's father.
Yeah.
You know, was, that they had come through it, they can't tell me the last time they were through that. So, it's kind of fun story, but, so that's what this is about, and, it's just move it off our, so we don't, I'll type our license.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 2, set public hearing for proposed local law to implement occupancy tax pursuant to New York State tax law.
Resolved that pursuant to section 20 of the municipal home rule law of the state of New York, a public hearing shall be held prior to the common council's scheduled regular meeting at 6 P.M. on July 16, 2024 at City Hall, 25 Court Street, Portland, New York. Proposed local law to implement a hotel and motel tax rate of up to 3% of the per diem rental rate for each room.
I'll move it.
All the same. So again, this is the continuation of what we had before. We Assembly, Member Callis and Senator Wynn. We pushed the document back on us, so now we do the hearing and then we can move this law.
The bill is currently waiting action. So public hearing next meeting and post local law as soon as the bill's.
Perfect. Anybody else? And please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 3, authorize creation and hiring a temporary part-time safety coordinator.
Resolved that the common council hereby creates a temporary part-time position of safety coordinator, authorizes temporary hiring of up to for a period of up to 8 weeks at an hourly salary of $5.
Mr. Carpenter? Scott, any questions?
Is this likely to turn into a full-time position?
As of right now, this study would be, it used to be a full-time position. I think Mr. Sponville was the last one to hold that position, if I'm correct. He's now our police commissioner, and it's a discussion with him. You know, there's a lot of other ways that we organize things structurally, but we'd like to do an audit review of all of our current processes, up to and including the safety to enter in our buildings, so a little bit more of that, so a little bit of ADA compliance stuff, as well as being able to steel toe shoes, shorts, you know, those kind of things, just gonna go through the safety compliance things up to and including, you know, something that bothers me is a wastewater or a water operator goes in the middle of the night, gets called in. What's the mechanism that we know that they're safe, so they don't fall in a vat, something, they hit their head or something happens? Is there a calling procedure that should be done, then maybe they call the 911 center, you know, that they know they're there, or, you know, the OIC or somebody, so that we have some kind of process, so we're hoping to get, you know, some of these spirits in all those, agencies to understand what they have to try to get some of those protocols in place. So that's the temporary point of it, and, but it is a sunset date, so that didn't happen, and we can, if there's, seems like there's more than that, and we'll just.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Then item number 4, sidewalk program conflict of interest disclosure.
Resolved that it is hereby disclosed to the common council and the public that Roy Everett, Diane Batsing, and Jason Hall, having ties to the city of Portland, have submitted applications for funding through the city sidewalk program. And be it further resolved that the common council, upon the opinion of council letter, concurs that their participation does not violate city or state law, and that said applications may be accepted pursuant to established policies.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Mr. Mello, Mr. Scott. So I have to read this statement, to make sure we're in compliance. Toma Development Consultants have advised me to discuss the following persons with ties to the city have been pre-qualified participation in the sidewalk program. Fair and Diane Batsing. Diane Batsing serves on the city's Landscape and Design Commission. Rory Everett. Rory Everett is an employee of the city as a planning and zoning officer and captain. Jason Hall is a owner as a property and is an employee of the city Portland Water Department. One of the requirements of the program is for the participation to be openly disclosed. This discussion and resolution represents the required disclosure. Anyone who has any questions or objections is asked to contact Tolman Development Consultants. And you can do that anonymously so that, they can feel that their concerns have been heard. So with that, I think it makes sense and we can clear it. Hold it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye. Agenda item number 5, authorize 2024 amendment to the municipal cooperative agreement to the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium as recommended by the Board of Directors.
Resolved that upon receipt and review of the amended agreement, the city of Portland Common Council approves at a meeting of the governing body held on July 2nd, 2024, authorizes the chief elected official to sign the 2024 amendment to the municipal cooperative agreement effective January 1st, 2024 of the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium as recommended by the Board of Directors.
Motion.
I'll move it.
No. Someone, thank you. So this is just wording on the consortium. They were audited and, some of the wording that was, how the municipalities were broken up. They were signed their agreements need to be cleared up, so they have asked for that verbiage to be cleared up, so it's just a technicality from that. Okay, questions? Hold it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye. Agenda item number 6, declare administration and finance department office equipment surplus and authorize sale by auction.
Resolved that the common council hereby declares an IBM Info Print 6500 matrix printer and a Duplo B 350 perforated form machine as surplus and grants permission for their sale on Auction International, with any proceeds from the sale being placed in the administration and finance department budget.
I'll
Mr. Scott. Ms. Carpenter. These are just old big printers that probably are anchor weights. What we're gonna do, and we have to try to get something out of it. So I'm hoping somebody wants it that big, it's like this big monster in their living
Are we
room.
contacting the museums? or-
Yeah.
Coffee table.
See it.
So that's what this is about. Brilliant. Roy, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson. Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Agenda item number 7, declare police department vehicle surplus and authorize sale by auction.
Resolved that the common council hereby declares a 2016 Chevy Tahoe as surplus and grants permission for the agency to sell the vehicle on Auction International, with any proceeds from the sale being placed in the Portland County or City Police Department's 2024 budget account for operating equipment to be used for the purchase of new police vehicles and or equipment.
I'll move.
Mr. Scott, Mr. Carpenter. Any questions?
As vehicle just basically broken in.
Maybe you could sell the Tahoe and the printer.
We'll put the printer in the
Put the
back
printer
seat.
in the back and you can sell it.
Get more out of it, maybe.
Maybe Tom will buy it.
Yeah. So we got our mileage out of that, almost as much as chief, so. It's good. Move it, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Item number 8, authorize sale of abandoned impound vehicle.
Resolved that the common council does hereby authorize the Portland City Police Department to sell 4 abandoned vehicles at the impound lot for scrap and place all proceeds from such sale into the budget for operating equipment to be utilized towards the purchase of new police vehicles and equipment.
I'll move.
Mr. Scott Sullivan. Yeah, so again, they need, some of the revenue lines for putting new cages in their cars and some of those other items.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson. Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Agenda item number 9, declare Department of Public Works vehicle surplus and authorize sale by auction.
Resolved that the noted surplus and revenue from the sale of such items be allocated as outlined should be below. Ford vehicle in the international dump.
Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Michaels. So the other item that will go towards this, so we can purchase another truck, because we had a truck that was in an accident. As well as chief, back another car, so that it's. That one didn't get totaled, this one was totaled, and we took the buyout of the 900. We bought it out and then we sell it. Auction as well. Okay, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 10, accept and recognize donations to the police department.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council agrees to accept the following donations and recognizes and extends its appreciation for the generosity of the donors listed below. Donations coming from the Portland Elks Lodge number 748 in the amount of $2,000 to go towards the K-9 program. Anonymous donation, the amount of $50 to go to the K-9 program. And a donation from Connie Bentley in the amount of $400 to go towards the deer.
Mr. Carpenter. Slam. Yeah, and thanks Chief for soliciting his donations. That makes it, they can be expected from having our canine, but we've seen great results from that happening and obtaining children. So we appreciate the Elks, the anonymous person, and Miss Bentley for their contributions. Thank you very much. Always great for citizens to do that, see the benefits of doing that.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Okay, I guess we're on to discussion items. Doing pretty good here. My list. Okay, so I want to touch on a couple things, the unhoused, like Phil brought that up and, as the others, Ms. Bishop's in the audience as well, but I appreciate her, uncanny diligence, from the county level to work towards this committee. I see her at just about every committee meeting we're at. We've broken up into, subcommittees with the target of getting some kind of solution before the winter months hit, so we do have an option for unhoused. So this has been hard, it's a lot, there's been a lot of meetings and a lot of work and a lot of diligence. I think we made great progress, certainly if you need more information, she can add to that. Working together with the county agencies, all the non-for-profit agencies, we made some great strides, in making some of these things happen and making positive gains happen despite, untruths that are being noted. Many that are, situations that are great success stories. Catholic Charities has an outreach program. They're out daily now and working on that. We're working diligently with the library. I've been working directly with Catholic Charities on a program, so they have funding to be able to put up, and we'd be able to, and these are people with different needs, but just as the YWCA, they're part of our program too, that we've been working together as a team before, that has been working on it, and they got their grant, and now we're working with them to get their support to get the facility and the location of that facility put in to be able to help them, and that's for, would be for better, as well as different needs of families. So that would be family needs, which currently DSS isn't turning in a way, but that takes up housing for others. So being able to have a place for families is their criteria, their priority, I guess I should say. So that's a great program. And then, using some of the ESHI funding, we were able to get some, work with Catholic Charities. We're working on just starting to meet with those details to work out what those grant specifics are. But we have a site that we're working with a local developer for to keep the cost down so we can get maybe up to 40 houses there. So, and those will be very short-term projects to make things happen as far as short-term construction work goes. But at least they're probably projected. And again, we have the senior program, which also will help this problem as well. So I think there's some great solutions and we're targeting those solutions. I'm trying to just talk off the top of my head here. There's updates, I think I sent some updates. So we make them available to others. It's just hard to keep up with it all and write it all out too, but there's different programs working on. We're interviewing some of the places that were mentioned before, field trips, them coming here, and different meetings to discuss what best fits in our community and where that would be located and how it's going to work. But there's some great synergy and some great leading that's being done by Mr. Whitman, and being able to put the data together. That's a whole nother aspect of data. So lobbying efforts, data efforts to make that happen, to get us a little bit ahead of some of the other areas that we have.
So, Mayor, do you anticipate any of these shelters being available before winter?
That is the target goal of one of the committees to make that happen. I think that's on the trajectory for sure.
Yeah.
So that would be helpful, to make happen. So that is the goal and, we're not necessarily, I think we're not gonna spend our time arguing over what words to use, whether it's a shelter or not. But, you know, being able to have a situation to be able to evaluate everybody's needs and put them in placement where their needs are, what their needs are. Whether it's whatever the issue may be, and whether it's job coaching to whatever we can do to so that I don't want to paraphrase any bit of it because it's a very complex problem. There's a lot of issues that create it, so it's not even best to be a professional, but there are professional men in that room that are working towards that. So I feel very good about that. I feel like we made a lot of great progress despite some of the actions that have been accused here, that are not factual.
It sounds like we need a comprehensive article written about it so that we can get the word out to the public.
And I think when we get along a little bit farther, it'll be even clearer for the media. Progress is good and the team keeps growing. The hospital in, gets more data from them, gets some help from them. Aspects, so I feel pretty good about it, and I think lobbying efforts will be a part where we can all step in here in this room, we'll give everybody a chunk of that to be able to do that, because I think there's lobbying efforts that need to be pushed up to the federal, state level that can help in the overall corrections of some of these problems. You know, whether it's some of the bail reform or whatever the case might be, some of the strengths that would need to be in there. So that's more to come, and there's a lot more work to do, but we'll keep trying to keep everybody posted, keep asking, and we'll try to get something a little bit more data. I'll try to put that as an input item and try to get some highlights from those meetings to be able to do that, because I think it's important to be able to do that. Because, there's many from medical health to, all the different programs that are out there. We really have a good community that way, and we have a lot of good people that care, so we'll keep working on that. So, the riverbank, Miss Lane asked about that. So, the area that's in discussion is, that is state land property. I'm trying to acquire that property from the state. So that's, been some of my involvement in that part of it. So the idea is to, there's a big strip of land that goes between 81 to the river. That's pretty nice. And if you remember, our walking trail bridge is going to go across through under that tunnel and over to that. So, so that partial is ours. That's a right of way for our, there's water and sewer lines that go across there. And, that's a right of way. So there's no work that's been done there. The work that last year was in front of the walking bridge where the bridge is going to go. The old railroad bridge is there. There's abutments there. So that was all cleaned up last year, and, most of it's bamboo. No big trees were taken out, but they cleaned that area up, brought some mulch in, and soil and water hydroseeded it. There's planted 20 trees there. So there's been 20 trees there, and the idea is there, and working with the DEC and come up with a plan, is to have a walking trail to do all that. None of that's been cited as being designed as of yet, working on. Next part was, there was a bunch of trash, not people's tents, there were people back there, at different times that continually back. Go behind the end of the park, pick some of the other ones, and then no trespass, so that's why the police were there. There are no trespass warrants from the state to not have people there because it's a danger. They did pull out 28,000 pounds. It's 14.5 tons of stuff, not including a truck. Trash, not people's belongings, so that's a lot of debris that was taken out of there according to them, and the state has been going along all along 81 if you come from the Homer exit. I even think it's before that, but I noticed it when I come down. I leave from my house, I go down 81, one exit, and see that in the morning when I come to DPW. And they have a grinder that they put on an excavator, and they have trimmed back all the trees and brush all along 81, all the way down off the rock. And this is a project they're doing all the way along. Yeah, they did along the river on the other side, the river there. They're doing all along 81. So this is a program, I guess they started last year, and they started doing it in other areas, and they're continuing on.
So the state did that.
That's a state project.
So that was not done by us at all to make sure the homeless would not be able to hide.
Well, the idea is, so I'm sure that was some of the impetus is to keep it clean so that, keep it safe, so they don't get into a $250,000 plus cleanup is happening to do, trying to be proactive to doing it. So, but it is their land, it's their property, they had no trespass warrants on it, so that's what was being enforced. And, so that's, in summary, I think it's, in, keeping that area clean, keeping it, maintained and making it so everybody wants to be good stewards. So, and we're gonna, continue with our walking trail that goes across, and following through all the zebra mussels to all the state regulations, which we're working on to be able to do that. Make a nice area that connects the parks together. That's the idea, is eventually connect all of the parks in the millennial fashion to go across and make it so it's usable and enjoyable by all. So, hopefully we can get some more of those trees planted and keep shading our with trees and grow it. So, and it's difficult to grow trees. It takes a while, but those 20 are definitely make an impact this summer. So, so whatever impact we can do by getting trees put in there, we'll continue to do that. And so that's the other issue I had on that. So then we have two positions that we have the judge position. So again, we have 3 candidates to do that. So they would need to then wait for the next meeting. We're still waiting for Judge Knickerbocker has to close his practice, and then he can go into that judge officially as a full-time judge once he has all his conflicts done, but he's still number 2 until that. Then we can make that appointment. So we can make that appointment anytime and try to get that person in. But there's 3 candidates, and we're working on those candidates and trying to interview to give the best solution, recommendation we can to give the council.
Would it be possible to postpone it till not next meeting, but the August meeting, so everybody can be here?
To not be here. Well, I think there's a couple. This leads off to the next one, which is the legislators spot became open. So there is an election process that interfere with the elections. So they have to to get the election, anybody who's going to run in the seats, because maybe it doesn't affect that. But we hear that we've been.
Are you here at the next meeting?
Yeah. So I would assume, I think from a competency standpoint, really. Gonna be involved, but competency standpoint, I think we need to fill that position. The courts are pretty busy, and it's just next factor opportunity to get those days off, and it's on. we will, continue to do that and we'll have a name for you next meeting for judge. Also, since then, our legislator position, what LD was that? 4? LD5, thank you. LD5 has open, due to, job restriction that not allow that candidate to continue on. So with that said, that Democrat elected position. So, because that was a Democrat position, then we would look towards the Democratic Party to give me a name to be put forth to this body to. Any questions on that? So again, that we want to try to get that out so that, so we don't impede that election. So if they're gonna, we assume they have to do that, I think. I think it's 2 days after our next meeting, they have submitted, so it can be on the ballot. Time is crunching for all these things.
So the judge, you're gonna present the meeting next week.
Correct. We'll present the name next meeting.
I have a quick question about DPW candidates. Do they have engineering degrees?
So, all of, when everybody applies for criteria, all has to be, so there's just like the chief of police, we just posted that position too. And the same thing will happen with chief of police is the DPW commission. So the criteria are set, we always had those job descriptions done, so they get vetted by civil service, so their education point, so engineering part, whatever. If we could get qualified candidates that would work, we can always reduce those or change those, not to fit a specific person.
Right.
To do that. So we didn't make any changes to either
Okay.
one of those titles to do that. I think there's one modification we made for the police chief one, just as a local hire, because you have outside hire and local hire, so the police chief, we're gonna go local and outside. And, again, it's not to say that we don't have the competency within, but it's to show their strength. It's not to show their strengths that they do have, show that it is, but always take away that variable of somebody thinking that they don't have there's somebody else better out there. So we'll put that out there, but those names are pushed to civil service, and then civil service gives us those names to do that. In the DPW, there was one that didn't have all of his, it wasn't clear his experience in one area, so he needed to resubmit that clearance, but we knew it was valid, so we went ahead with interviews without having that validated by them. But certainly they cannot be hired before that. So we can push a couple of interviews if they're close to do that. So that happened. But other than that,
I was just curious whether that was part of the job description, and did Nick have an engineering?
he got it, but he worked for us.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, so civil engineering, so the DPW commission has given me 2 names. We interviewed last Friday, they gave me 2 names. I will, review and negotiate and discuss with those 2 candidates and set the name next meeting as well. And then hopefully with finance, I mean, that was interviewed by, the personnel committee and, Sue Thompson, who's, the liaison for the finance. And those are the interview candidates there, and then the liaisons for DPW, Ms. Lane, who was on those interviews. I thank everybody for that, and their time doing that and have good consideration. It's always good to have input. So no decision would be made without everybody else agreeing to it. So nobody's been pushed from me without other people.
Well, a lot's been accomplished in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I got a lot better Friday. Andy and I left 7, whatever, Friday night, and we got a lot better than we did Monday. So, it's been tough, it just keeps coming, so.
Chief Nichols.
I'm gonna call you out, Chief.
You said it wasn't working.
You get my call and I call you. That.
Not all chief become senile.
We gotta look forward to, Chief. You get some, rap and sing such a song for. All right, listen, hopefully I answered all the questions, and we got a lot going on. it's been going great. I really appreciate the support of everybody that's been putting this stuff together. Our personnel committee, Andy and, Robin is going out of her way to go down and work out early down there with, DPW and helping with streamline some of that stuff. It's been,
Thank you,
without, well.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
So, any other questions? I'll accept the motion for adjournment. One,
Okay.
Lane, all in favor?
Bye.
So, well.